Hello, and welcome to WTFamicom, everyone's favorite gaming podcast. Today, it's me, Nick Tendo, and my
And it's
co-host.
me, Dan Tendo.
Whoa, and we're here live to tell you guys about all the new things in 2023. New stuff, new games. It's blowing my mind how much newness we're going to fit into this episode.
New year, new us, new games. We're literally transcending now. We're becoming an up-to-date gaming news podcast now. This is our first episode of ever doing that.
We're the news.
We're technically the news now. Yeah, we're the gaming news. So we can't wait to dive deep into like everything that's going on in gaming culture right now. So welcome to 2023. We're excited for this new chapter in our new life, right?
Yeah, and we can't wait to do the new thing.
Yeah, we'll be right back after this.
Wow.
You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every actual. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every actual. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every sexually transmitted disease that Mario has. He's the Joystick Gigolo, and he's nasty as shit. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every actual. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it.
So I'm going to ask you a personal question. Just looking at me.
I'm gonna skirt right around it. Yeah.
Okay. Do I look like a Nazi to you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, but like if I was walking the street, would you think I'm a Nazi?
No, I would not.
Okay. Well, according to some old guy that walked down the street in front of my apartment, he thought I was a Nazi.
He did.
He did. I was walking up from Target. I had both. I was carrying two bags, so I couldn't. Not that I would salute him back. But I was walking, and an old guy was approaching me. I was like 10, 20 feet away from my apartment door, and he gives me. It wasn't a wave. I'm telling you this much. If it was a wave, it was the craziest wave ever. But he gave me a Nazi salute in front of my apartment, and it took me a few moments to realize what it was. And there's people outside my apartment, like across the street. So they see this guy give me a Nazi salute. I'm like, I pause. I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, they think I know him.
All these people think I know him. They also think I'm a Nazi. Now they know where this Nazi lives in the neighborhood.
Yeah, they know. They're looking for you.
They just to let everyone know, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm not a Nazi.
Correct.
But according to this guy, unless this guy knows something that I don't know, but according to this guy, I might be.
There's two possibilities. One, he's from the future. Maybe you become one. He's trying to stop you.
Or what if it was me from the future?
What are you trying to do? Stop you from becoming a Nazi or start you becoming a Nazi?
Well, you know how like I like to mess with people and like I'm really like a jerk off. So like I am in the future and my objective, I build a time machine and they're like, what do you want to do? Do you want to cure cancer? Do you want to stop like do you want to help world peace? I'm like, no, I want to go back in time. I want to give myself the Nazi salute.
Sounds a bit extreme.
And the scientists are like, what are you doing? Why don't you want to cure diseases or COVID? And I'm like, no, I got to embarrass my younger self.
I got to do it. He's going to put it on the podcast. But won't that change your future? And you may not create the time machine. I'm willing to take that risk.
That's true. Because after I turned around, he was disintegrating. It's into space and time.
Now, this is very funny because you recently told me about another older gentleman.
I was going to save this for later. Well, first off,
okay, that's fine.
I'm fucking over old people now. Like I've had, because there's the third moment on the subway that just happened with old people. You know what? First off, welcome to 2023, everyone. Happy New Year. I hope you had a good holiday. Whatever.
Unless you're old.
Unless you're old. Honestly, unless you're old, I don't fucking care. Because I had the craziest movie going experience without actually seeing the movie.
This is awesome.
So I go to see Avatar. Right?
Again. I mentioning it again.
I don't need this. I mean, now
I can tell them. I'll tell them how many times you've seen it. Yeah, I'll tell them.
I've only seen it once. I tried to see it twice. So I bought a ticket to see Avatar a second time.
When you buy the ticket, do you say 1 to blue butt cheeks? Is that what you say?
Yeah, they say please get out. They have the FBI guys. Tell me,
actually, you buy them online, right?
Yeah, I buy them on the app. I had a gift card. I don't remember the last time I've ever bought it in person.
No, you buy them online.
Yeah, you buy them online. So I bought it on this app.
In fact, you click on the movie, right? This is important to the story.
You click on the movie. You click on the movie. You know,
click on your seat.
You click on your exact seat.
Yeah,
this is very important. You click on your exact seat.
And then you go.
I bought it with a gift card. So I go to the movies And
With a gift card note, everyone. Yep, gift card.
And this
Gift
is
card,
actually very
what the Dan.
So I'm like 10 minutes early. I walk into the theater and there's two people in the theater. There's one on like the ground level and like the lower area, and there's an really old guy in like the upper area. And I turn and I realize I know my seat's in the upper area, and I'm in the back of my head. I'm like, please don't be in my aisle. Please don't be in my aisle. So as I'm getting closer, I notice he's in my aisle. So as I'm getting closer, I'm like, please don't be near my seat or next to me. As I'm getting closer, he's in my exact seat.
It's so awesome.
So I look at him and
guy.
I look at the numbers, and I'm like, I pass him and I'm like, hey, I think you're in my seat, but that's okay because nobody's here. Like, it's not a big deal if nobody shows up. He turns into me when I lie about stuff. He got defensive because he was like, no, this is my seat. And I'm like, hey, it's not a big deal. Like, I think that's my seat. He's like, I have a ticket. And he like pulled it out, and he would have like fought me, but he was like, I have a ticket. Like, I'll prove it. And he throws his ticket on like his thing. And I'm like, God, now I have to look at this old guy's ticket. Like I don't believe him, even though I don't. So I look at his ticket, and first off, at first glance, I don't see the word Avatar. I don't see a ticket time. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So I look at the whole ticket, and then I notice he is in the wrong seat. And like, I just wanted to prove it to him. So he's in the seat next to mine. So I'm like, oh, it's like actually the one right next to me. And he was like, oh. And I'm like, it's no big deal. I was like, nobody's here. If we don't have to move, it's not a big deal. And he was like, no. And he got mad at me. He was like, no, I have to move. Like, I wouldn't want someone sitting in my seat. I'm like, okay. So he moves, sits in his seat. I sit in my seat. Nobody else in the theater, just two people sitting directly next to each other.
Yeah, best friends.
Yeah,
already.
best friends. So as soon as he sits down, what do you think this motherfucker says to me?
I know, but go ahead, please.
He says, what movie is this? My mind was blown. I'm like, who just goes to a movie and just says, one ticket, please?
One ticket, please.
One
Sir,
ticket.
would you like to pick your movie? Nope.
Just give me a ticket. Point me into a theater.
So
he said, what movie is this? And I had my phone open anyway, and I showed him my ticket. I'm like, oh, it's Avatar. I showed him the poster. I was like, it's this movie. And then what do you think this motherfucker says?
What?
He says, I already seen it. I was like, you already seen it. You didn't even fucking know what movie you were in.
This guy is awesome.
So he was like, I already seen it. And
what
he's
world
like,
he lives in.
I had nothing else to do. Everything was closed today. But I already seen this movie. And I'm like, nothing's closed today. It's January 2nd. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I like this one. It's like, and he kept talking. And like, you know how like previews and like the weird things start showing up on the screen, like before the trailers.
Yeah.
He's like yapping on about that. And he's eating like, I forgot to tell you this before. He brought his own food. He was eating like, he had like 4 hot dogs that he was eating once he sat in his correct seat.
He snuck in hot dogs?
Yeah. So
he's like, what, sleeves? Like,
I don't know. No, his sleeves were short. He had short sleeves.
Okay,
I distinctly remember. So he's making like comments to me, and every like few minutes he turns to me and says like, I already seen this, right? Like, he's literally saying like validating, like, I already seen it. And I'm like, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. You didn't know where you were sitting. You don't know what movie this is.
So more people are coming in, and he's still like randomly saying words to me. And I'm like, fuck, people are going to think like we're together. Like, I don't know what to do now. So someone sits directly next to me, and he's still making comments. And I'm like, these people next to me probably think he's with me, or he's my dad or something. So the movie previews start, and he was like, oh, there's always like so many commercials during these movies. And I'm like, okay, he's calling the movie previews commercials. So he thinks he's probably watching TV.
Yeah.
And so like every time a new trailer ends, he's like, I told you, another commercial. And I'm like, yeah, great.
You told me, you got it.
So also during the movie previews, he gets up and he says, hey, can you save my seat? And he had his jacket. He pointed to his jacket. He's like, hey, I'm leaving my jacket here. Can you save my seat? And I'm like, you're good, man. That's your seat. And I'm like, what was the last movie this guy probably saw? Was Casablanca probably, or something?
No, it was Avatar very recently.
Yeah. So he leaves to go to the bathroom. He comes back, and I know the movie's starting soon. And I'm like, fuck, like there's gonna be 3 hours of him like maybe convincing me that he saw this part, whatever the fuck he's saying. As soon as the movie starts, he falls asleep.
Perfect.
He is knocked out like right away. And I'm like, I don't even care if he's dead. Like, I honestly don't care. For 3 hours, if he starts stinking, that'll make, I'll be worried, but he falls asleep right away. Like, I notice it. So 20 minutes into Avatar, I'm like, good. Like, I just enjoy this movie. The fire alarm in the entire building goes off.
Oof.
Yeah. So it's really loud. And it fucking wakes him up. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's a fire alarm. And he turns to me and says, a car alarm? And I'm like, no, fire alarm. Like, I emphasize fire just so he knows, like, there wouldn't be a car in the building.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I hope they start the like, he was mumbling something. And we were leaving. And the person in the theater was like, if we find out it's a false alarm, like, we'll start the movie back up. Everyone can come in. But it's part of a huge mall. So everyone from that mall is outside on the street. And after like 5-10 minutes, I decided I didn't want to go back in there because it was a gift card. So I'm just going to get a refund. And I don't even care where this old guy wound up going.
Let's go back a couple sentences. Gift card? You're going to get a refund.
And then I got a refund for the gift card. And I told them that a fire alarm went off.
You can check. I can tell you the theater. I'll tell you the address.
I did.
You what?
Well, I told them the theater. I was like, like, it was a 2:00 show. I should have, what I should have said in the customer service, like, telling them this, I should have complained about him.
The guy? You don't know anything else about him.
I should have been like, there's an old guy, like, he had short sleeve shirts. He was eating hot dogs. He brought them in. I should have ratted them out.
Tattletale on his hot dogs.
Yeah. I should have been like, yeah, he brought hot dogs in. Like, you're not supposed to, right?
Well, maybe someone made him skip lunch, dude.
I'll like rat him out. I'll be like, oh, he's seen Avatar twice. Like, that's kind of crazy. Be like, sir, aren't you seeing it twice?
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. I like movies.
I know the movie. The movie.
Like, I don't just go to the ticket booth and say, give me a ticket.
One, please. That's wild,
and then,
that guy.
So the Nazi guy saluted me. This old guy ruined my Avatar experience.
Could they have been the same person or no?
No.
Okay.
And I bumped into a guy sleeping on the subway because I went to go sit in this a seat on the subway. It was like 6:30 in the morning, and he wakes up and starts like going off on me. Like, this was like last week, and he was like, "Why'd you sit next to me?" And I'm like, "It's an open spot." I was like, "I don't know what you want me to do." He's like, "You're kicking me." I'm like, "I accidentally hit you," and I'm like inches away from his face. He could have like spit on me. He could have punched me. It was like insane that my like nonchalant attitude towards it, because I was like, and he was like, "There's an open space over there." I'm like, and I remember saying, I was like, "Listen, man," like, and I think because I didn't care because it was so early, I'm like, "Listen, if I didn't sit here, somebody else will." Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, he was like pissed off, and he literally could have just punched me in the fucking face.
You could have punched him on the face.
Well, like, I had my headphones in. Like, I had one of my headphones in.
I was just curious, the psychological reason for he could have punched me in the face, but like, you in theory could have punched him. He doesn't.
I mean, he was an old guy, so I could have. His punch would have been slow.
Yeah.
Like, I would have just grabbed it and punched him with his own punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3 occurrences of old people that, like, for some reason, it's like an aura about me.
Yeah, I think old people do like you or don't like you. It's both.
I was gonna say the Nazi guy liked me. Yeah. The movie theater guy liked me, and the subway guy did not like me.
No, but I think they're not people you want liking you.
No,
actually, you probably would have wanted the subway guy to like you.
Of all the people, because he's like me, he takes the subway. I probably wanted him to like me, and
just like me.
He didn't. So those are those are my insane stories that happened. I think they all happened within a week of the new year.
Well, 2023, that's what it's all about. It's about getting older and eliminating old people. Is that a thing?
I think we should. Oh my God.
Went pretty quick.
My mom's probably going to listen to this and be like, what are you saying?
What are you saying?
What are you saying about me, son? Connection to gaming and getting older. You just got something for Christmas that is related to you that you did when you were younger. You want to explain that?
PlayStation 5?
No. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, your son got something for Christmas that was related to you being younger.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sort of. That's the tie back. I think that was my favorite system of all time, PlayStation 1. And probably,
Wait, what are we talking about?
PlayStation 5?
No, what did your aunt get your son for Christmas? It was a picture.
Wait, didn't we already talk about that? I would have brought it over here.
No, I mean, we did an episode about it like 2 years ago, but I just like the fact that you got it for Christmas.
Dude, I had no clue that's what you're talking about. Yeah. My aunt sent, I don't know how she had the picture. Like, I thought my mom would have had it, but somehow my mom lost it. My aunt had a picture that I drew that you brought up on the podcast of an ice scarge, but unbeknownst to me, she wrapped it in like Christmas wrapping paper, put it in a frame, and gave it to my son.
And an ice scourge for anyone not
An
familiar,
ice
which is probably 99% of our audience is unfamiliar. It's from a game called Unreal. So
Unreal.
here's my favorite part. It's not
Okay.
it's not a main enemy. It's an offshoot of an
Yeah.
enemy.
It's one in a geographical cold region, I believe.
Yeah. So like no
Mhm.
one would know the name of a scourge, let alone another version of a scourge. So your son opening this is like so irrelevant
In a game he's never played.
in a
or
game
will
he'll
probably
never play, and it's never been ported to anything.
Yo, guess what? We were playing some games and he was like, "Oh, Unreal Engine," and I was like, "Yeah, bud, that's that ice scourge," and he ignored everything I said after
And
that.
he was
but-
like, "Huh? You mean that
Yeah.
toilet paper I used earlier?"
Yup. So yeah, he got a picture of an ice scourge, and it's literally in a frame. He's the only person in the world to have that.
That is true. It is pretty fucking insane.
Even the owners of or the makers of Unreal don't have that.
Yeah, that's really funny. That's so true. An
Yeah,
ice
so-
scourge.
Yeah.
My favorite part about that picture
Mhm.
is it says ice scourge above it.
Yeah.
But the word scourge is spaced because the guy's head gets in the way. So why would the word be
Oh.
spaced? Like, why wouldn't the word be behind him?
I
Why would
think
it?
I think maybe like a 10-year-old drew it.
Yeah.
That's
10-year-old
what I think.
Yeah, a 10-year-old obsessed.
I had to be
that doesn't-
12 or 13. I don't know.
Probably. I mean,
I don't know when
it's
Unreal
just
came
so
out.
funny that like we did this episode a couple years ago, and
And my son got it as a gift.
yeah,
My aunt must be a big listener.
I think this is the first year I didn't get anything like gaming related for Christmas. I think
From anyone?
yeah,
Maybe they're telling you something like stop.
they're probably
Stop.
you got to stop. Like
He
you're
keeps
you're a
talking
single
about it.
virgin.
He's
You
making
have
a
to stop.
podcast about it. You have to stop. This is for his own good.
Yeah, I guess we can get into it then. You got a PS5.
I did. Well, yeah, spoiler alert. I have a PS5 and I haven't been a console guy since Xbox
PS2.
360.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, which is PS3 range. Is that
Yeah,
what that
yeah.
one was? Yeah. So yeah, and I still had the Xbox 360 at my parents' house, and now I'm here, and I'm like PC guy, but you know what? It'd be nice to have a console for my
There you
son.
go.
And PlayStation was my favorite. PlayStation 1, probably my favorite system.
Yeah.
And I have PlayStation 5, and of course, dude, I did it. PlayStation Plus bundle.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk
Mhm,
about some games we played because more importantly, I want to talk about a line you tried to give a bartender when you went to a bar recently.
Oh, please do. Yeah. So
okay.
it's the new year, new me. It's
Yeah.
time
Hey,
to get out there.
new year,
I
new
gotta
us. If
I gotta
it's a
start.
new you listening right now, congratulations, you're new.
Actually, this is really interesting. So I want a dog, and I want a girlfriend, I guess.
Well, sometimes girlfriends become dogs.
And dogs become girlfriends.
to some, yeah.
So, but which order are you supposed to have them in?
Well, hopefully you're not fucking a dog and like,
No, if you're going to have one of each.
oh,
what
like which one
order?
do you get first?
Yeah,
Well, I think the dog gets the girlfriend.
that's what I thought. But then think of this: if you're in like a dating scene and you're sleeping over there, she's sleeping over there, you can't. Who's taking care of the dog? Are you leaving it to die?
No, you bring it. You make it watch you guys have sex.
That's okay. It's someone else's house.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't care how big or small the dog is. Like you sit it on the bed while you're like, I don't know, messing around with a girl.
Anyway, maybe I'm gonna look into getting a dog and then a girl.
Yeah.
That's the order, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Or just
being
go-
dead
or-
serious. There's a dog park right here. I can see it. I'm looking at it while I'm doing the
That's
episode.
the cliche. Like get a dog,
I
bring it
know,
over
and
there and be
then-
like, oh my God, he's so cute.
Oh my
What's his
god,
name?
he's so cute. It's Hump You.
Oh, his
Excuse
name
me?
is Hump You?
No, that's his name, Hump You.
Oh, and then you have and the next week you bring another dog and they're like, oh, what's his name? Like, wanna do you.
I just keep buying dogs with those kind of names. Let's get busy. That's his name?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
beagle. That's a
Who you
beagle
with?
name.
Oh, that's just my dog and my husband. Yeah, bummer.
Bummer, you're ugly anyway.
You're ugly anyway. All right, so yeah, that's the order of things. Also, I did right before this podcast, I hit play.
Okay.
I made a big move in my life. I didn't tell you about. I was going to announce it live.
All right.
I bought a TV.
You bought a TV?
I bought a TV.
Oh my God.
How much do you think I spent?
I don't know, like 1,500?
A little more.
2,000?
Yeah.
Dude, my man, living big. Getting
Well,
dogs with sexual innuendo names.
I can't
buying big
afford it.
TVs.
Hold on, I can't afford
Yeah.
it. No one can. This economy. But Amazon, 12 months. 0% financing.
Hey, that's what I do with my Xbox.
Is it?
Yeah.
Aren't you on like 36-month financing for your Xbox? Like you give them
I
$8 a month.
I don't pay attention to money. Money's real. Money's fake. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, but guess what? I literally, you don't know anything about TVs.
No, man.
77-inch.
Yeah, that's what she
It's
said.
OLED. Keep
Yeah,
saying that's what she said.
I have a TL. Yeah, that's
No.
what she said too.
120 refresh rate.
That's what he said.
It's got, 4K.
That's what they said.
Oh, damn it. All right, well,
Okay, new TV, new
it's
dog.
coming.
You probably got new outfits, right? You got a new apartment.
No new outfits. I'm wearing stuff that, like, I don't know, t-shirts I've had for 10
Well,
years.
you probably wore these outfits to that bar where you're trying to
here we
gloss
go.
past the story.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So you went out. I want you to tell a story because that's not fair.
Oh, I went out to meet my ex-girlfriend and her friends, right?
I wasn't going to tell people that part. Dude.
Who cares? That's fine. I'm water under the bridge. We're good.
Okay.
We're goodish.
Goodish.
No, yeah, we have a goodish relationship. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Considering what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go out with my ex-girlfriend, I guess, at this point. I don't know how that works.
Wow, that is like 5 X's ago. That
Yeah,
is
I know. It's kind of wild.
In the
Yeah.
span of 3 years.
Anyway, she did get married. She has a wife.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, geez. So I went out with them and their friend and a bunch of other friends. And it's like this cool bar. It's like kind of local, kind of not. And they're like, you got to talk to this bartender. I think she's like up your alley. And I was like, okay, So I can't. The bartender's very busy. And what am I going to say? And I'm like, does she know about me? And they're like, no. We figured, get here, introduce her, say hi. And I'm like, hey, I'm Nick. And she's like, oh, what would you like to drink? And I'm like,
so this bartender has no
Jingling.
clue that you're who you are,
Nope,
that you're
no
interested,
idea.
that it's even being a setup.
Nope.
Yeah.
She has no idea. And it's busy for a Monday. It's probably the same Monday you saw that movie, or Tuesday.
Oh my
God,
God,
January 1st or 2nd. Yeah.
Yeah, that Monday was cursed.
Yeah. So so I was trying to talk to her and be like suave, but like really all I said was Nick and Yingling, please. And then when she came back, I was like, thank you.
I like to imagine that was the full sentence. Like, hey, what can I get you? Nick. Yingling, please.
No, it was 2 separate sentences, introductory sentence and then a what can I get you sentence. And I was like, oh, this is working good. So I'm hanging out with them.
Like she knows what I like to drink. She knows my name begins with an
exactly.
N. Yeah.
Like we're in. I'm already there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to talk to her occasionally every now and then when she comes by, but like, she's busy. Oh, she's doing something. I don't want to bother her. She's at work.
Yeah.
So
that's like a main thing. She's at work.
She's literally at work.
Yeah.
What am I? So good luck, girl. I actually forgot her name. Anyway, I know I'm ruining the podcast. I'm going to the bathroom, right? I'm coming out of the bathroom.
Here we go.
Guess who's coming out of the girls' room, dude? Perfect scenario.
The nameless girl, yeah.
The nameless girl. So we're both there. We're both walking back from the bathroom. And I'm like, hey. And I said her name, right? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, we just met. And I just want to say, you're like the best bartender. And she looked at me and went, yeah. I was like, you're just so good at it. Because I didn't know what else to say. And I was at a loss. And she was like,
you're doing perfect. Yeah.
Thanks. And then she kept walking because she was done with the conversation. I was like, just saying, you're really good at it. And then like I trailed off. I didn't know.
What didn't you say? Like one of your also said like, oh, you're one of the best in the county.
So she had paused and I was like, yeah, definitely one of the best, top 10 in this area. And I was doing it as a joke, but she couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. And she was like, oh, you're just saying that or something. Like she didn't mean it, whatever she was saying.
You should have been like, yeah, I am just saying it. Like you're not.
Yeah. And then she went back and started serving drinks and everything. And then I saw her later and I was like, another Yingling, please.
Nick Yingling. She's like, is Yingling your last name? Nick Yingling.
Yep. So it didn't work out. I did get a friend. It did get like an offer for a relationship, but it was with the guy there. So,
hey man, new you, 2023,
new year, new me. Maybe I'm looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah, I mean, you should be looking in the Polygon direction.
Polygon, yeah,
I mean, you might hear us in another episode talking about maybe we're attracted to women that just have polygons, like jagged polygons.
I kind of from my youth, sexual awakening, polygons. Ooh.
It seems like our year just really started off like terrible, to be honest.
No, it didn't, and I'll tell you why. It can come up in the next thing.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Gaming related, I know.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So I don't know why this kind of reminded me, but you just said like of our youth. I always think about. Well, I think about this tweet that I just saw too, like a recent tweet where this guy, I forget what his name is. I actually like saved the picture of it. But this guy complained about, he's like, hey, can podcast hosts stop going off topic when it's not related to the topic on hand? Like, I don't care about what sandwich you ate. And everyone in the comments below were like, yeah, you're right. I hate when that happens. And in my head, I'm like, yo, if you want to learn about it, just fucking go on the Wikipedia, you dork.
Yeah. Well, your version of a bad podcast is someone pretty much just reading all facts and details about a thing that is like facts, like
and
things
this
that you
guy
could
loves
look
it.
up. And some people do. There's probably a good portion of people who love it, not just one or two. Now, our idea of a good podcast is the opposite.
Well,
No facts.
my idea of a good podcast is telling you it's about one thing and then never talking about that one thing at all.
I mean, we've been in this episode for a little bit, but how many new games have we gone over?
Maybe not even one.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We might even get there. We might get there.
We might. With that, I guess the wrap.
Are we gonna go on a break? Well, I actually wanted to bring up one thing because it's, you know what? I'm going to talk about my Xbox later, so I'll talk about this later. I guess we can go on a break now.
Let's go on a break forever.
We'll go on a break forever. It was nice knowing you folks, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. So what we're going to talk about is something we never talk about, is new games.
Legit
new games. Like this will be the only time we ever mention new games. We figured it'll be the only time. And I just played a game that came out maybe a month or two ago for the first time. So on my Xbox, I played a lot of new games. So I'll let you talk because you got a new system.
That's fine. I got PlayStation 5. It took 40 years, 50 gigabytes to update it, update the controllers, update PlayStation Plus, update this. Then you have to download the games. No one told me about that. That's like, an hour and a half, 3 hours of your day. And then they're playable at like 30% of the way through. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait till it's all the way finished.
That's so stupid. Yeah.
I wait. I make it wait. So it came with God of War Ragnarok, and I love it, but I don't want to play it because I was playing the previous God of War on this.
Yeah.
Like my computer I'm pointing to, for those who don't know. And I feel like I'm halfway through it on the computer.
Oh, so you haven't started Ragnarok? I thought you did.
I did, but like it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, oh, it's a story, and I have to finish the first chapter to understand what's going on.
And you're probably like, why is he white?
No. Like the main girl you're helping is chasing you in the beginning, and I'm like, and then it's like literally spoiler alert, which I didn't know. Within 5 minutes.
What are you spoiling about the second one?
Well, just so I'm
maybe
playing
I'll
the second
play it.
one.
Why would you spoil? This
Who
is
cares?
a spoil cast.
It's in the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
The first 5 minutes, she's trying to kill me. Who I thought she was my friend, and then Kratos like turns to the camera like in a comedy, and he goes, Why is she trying to kill us, Dad? That's because we tried to kill her. We killed her son. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't know she had a son. I didn't know we killed him. Oh, Jesus. I was like, that ruins the computer game for me.
I was going to say that definitely ruins a plot twist of thing that happens in the first one.
Which I actually think I may have already done in the computer, but I don't know it's him. I don't know. Either way, I'm in the middle of the first game, and I'm starting the second game, and I'm like, this is stupid. So now I have to play the computer game, but I don't want to.
Fair enough. Yeah, you got a PS5 and like you bought it, or I think you were hesitant to buy it. I'm like, dude, fucking do it. I was like,
yeah, it's just expensive. And then I had to buy a fucking TV afterwards.
And it's humongous too.
What, the TV?
Isn't the PS5 like humongous?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It doesn't make rocket ship noises yet, but it's probably like 3 years down the road.
And any other new games that you play on the PS5 that are PS5 exclusive?
Actually, I literally do the God of War Ragnarok. And then I started playing.
What was that big swallow? Did you just big swallow?
Yeah, dude, I had phlegm. I wasn't like nervous about announcing my game to you.
I thought you were like, God of War, like, gulp.
The gulp. So another new one, Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh yeah, okay. It probably looks good as shit on the PS5.
Yeah, not on a 1080p TV. Okay, I'll let you know when I get my 4K TV. Yeah.
Okay.
Skyrim.
A game that you've played 500 times. I played 500 times before.
Yeah, correct. Fortnite.
Not a new game.
Yeah. Siphon Filter 1, the original. I'm gonna get.
Yeah, not a new game.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing them. So
Deathloop. Isn't Deathloop a new game?
Yeah, it is. I was trying to go through as many old games as I could to be like funny and comedy based.
I actually was doing the same thing when I was going over a list of games that I played in the last like month. I was like, oh, these are just all remasters.
Well, even Final Fantasy VII, like it's a new game, but it's essentially a game I played when I was like 13. So
yeah. Deathloop. Yeah.
I actually am playing 2 new games, Deathloop and Biomutant.
Okay.
Whatever.
And you said Biomutant sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Like it's like half fleshed out, like they gave up halfway through. Like they have it sounds like the comedy guy from the Stanley Parables. Like you know that voice?
Yeah, yeah.
Like he always does funny, ironic comedy stuff. Like they have hit that voice, I believe. I didn't look this up, doing narrating the story, but it's like really clunky and like you have to wait for the story and it's really stupid. Like
Yeah,
it's
it
just
doesn't.
stupid.
It's so funny because we try new games. Like we
Mhm.
do the thing that people want us to do. We're like, yeah, we'll finally talk about new games, and then we don't like the games.
Has cool features and stuff. But Deathloop, no, I do really like Deathloop.
All right, take it
Although
back. Nick likes Deathloop.
okay. Although Deathloop is just Dishonored with a different skin and spin on it.
See?
Did you ever play Dishonored? Any of them?
Yeah, I loved it. It's probably one of the best games I've ever played in the last like 10, 15 years.
Wait, for real?
The first one, yeah, I never played the second one, but the first one was like I loved everything about it.
Dude, then you would actually really like this. It's all the same mechanics, the same like health bar, some of the same magic tricks and shit. And it's
Hey,
just
Nick,
with
can you not tell me what to do? Is this what the Nikacom?
no, it is what the Dan does.
Are you
to
sure?
work.
Like
Yep,
if I
fine.
snap my finger, the logo above us won't turn into like the Nikacom?
Try it. I didn't hear your snap. Isn't that weird?
Nothing.
That's
Oh, wow.
crazy. Hold on. Can you hear this one?
No, I can't hear it either.
That's nuts.
This is so embarrassing. Our fingers don't
We
make
can't even
noises.
snap. This is
Wow.
weird.
What if like someone's trying to attack us in like the woods and we're trying to snap like a rape whistle or something?
Hold on. Can you rewind that? Snap like a rape whistle.
Well, like that's
In the
our rape
woods.
whistle.
It's snapping.
It's like, please help.
Stop.
Help me. And the guy's trying to attack me. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, help
Stop.
me.
Well, I have bad news. I don't think it's going to go well for us if we're in the woods.
I mean, we're not in the woods together.
Good.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm actually super jealous because I remember at some point either wanting a PS5 or an Xbox, but I chose the Xbox Series X because I'm like, the Game Pass has like all old Xbox games that I've never played, so it's a whole library of games that I can all try for the first time.
Yeah.
And
did
Game Pass,
PlayStation have PlayStation Plus? All the
they just started getting PS1 games. Like I was saying, I chose the Xbox over the PS5. And for me, I was playing, like you played God of War, Deathloop, and all that stuff. What did I try? So the game that I was telling you about so first off, I'm not a Rick and Morty guy. I don't find Rick and Morty funny.
Here we go. This is what started it all.
It is.
And by the way, I almost sent a tweet that blew you up. Every time you talk about Rick and Morty, you have to mention you're not a Rick and Morty guy. This is like the people who said, "Oh, Game of Thrones. I don't watch Game of Thrones." You don't have to say that part. The first part. You could just say, "Oh, okay." Like, you don't have to tell everyone you don't watch it. It's not a personality trait.
I do, because I'm a narcissist.
And you wouldn't even enjoy it. I'm telling you.
But I've seen episodes.
Really?
Yeah, like Chris is like, oh my god, I just doxed my brother. My brother,
my
brother showed me episodes, and it just doesn't seem funny to me. So sorry, we'll edit that part out just for you.
Edit that part out just for me.
So
Thank
girls
you.
that are listening can be like, oh, like this guy he co-hosts with doesn't like this thing.
So is this for girls? Is that what it is?
This is for girls for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So
Yeah,
anyway, then forget about the first part I said. So
anyway, this new game
I tried that was really, really good was called High on Life.
Oh, it's the dude with the voice from Rick and Morty.
Yeah. You know, I love him. You know, I love that show.
That
but
voice,
it's like a first-person space game where you become a bounty hunter, but each gun that you use is all voiced completely by a different comedian, like a different voiceover. So you don't talk.
Actually, spoiler alert, I didn't know that. I thought it was all just that one gun.
No. So it's
different guns with different voices.
So the comedian like Tim Robinson is one of the guns.
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
The
I
Rick
saw
and
the
Morty
clip.
guy, JB Smooth. Like there's two other guns. Cool. But yeah, it's just it's like a goofy game. Like it's just a really funny game. And I was like, I remember seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, like it's on Game Pass, might as well download it and check it out. I had a really good time with it, and it just came out maybe a month ago. So that's the most recent game I've ever played in my entire life. Like I can't remember the last time I bought a game the day it came out.
And how weird is that? You enjoyed it. You had a good time.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. Oh. And it's only on Xbox, so you can never play it. You can't afford an Xbox.
I'm gonna.
What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna buy one just to prove everyone wrong.
Fuck, you probably could afford it though.
At this point, no, but yeah.
Yeah, the other two games that I tried that were like newish was another one was a fighting game. It was like Smash Brothers, but it's like Warner Brothers characters. I'm sure you've seen it because you have a kid. It's called Multiverses. Have you seen
No,
that at all?
actually don't.
So it's like Scooby Doo, Superman,
What?
Tom and Jerry, like everyone
In like
under
Capcom style?
no, yeah, like
Fighting?
well, no, it's like Super Smash Brothers, but everything
wow.
owned by Warner Brothers.
That's
So like every
wild.
cartoon character, every superhero, like Batman's in it.
Is there a guy wearing a shirt that says Warner Brother? You remember that?
Oh my god.
Very popular shirt
Fuck,
back in the
you
90s.
just,
I
you just
think.
got me so bad. I completely forgot about that shirt.
It was like
I
a
hope
90s
so.
shirt. I hope so too. That's like
And
a
I
90s.
hope Michigan Frog is in it because he's owned by one that like frog that sings.
Yeah, the dancing frog with the tuxedo, and he's naked
Yeah.
from the midsection down.
So 2 additions. They should put Michigan Frog in and someone wearing a shirt that says Warner Brother.
He has
Such
to
a
be
good shirt. Such a
has
good
to be a
shirt.
guy from like the Northeast.
Oh
in the
yeah, a
90s.
guy with like
Yeah.
a really terrible beard,
yeah,
like a cigarette behind his ear.
yeah. Yeah, you're thinking of the judge meme.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Another one I played was called Scorn.
Oh,
SCORN.
you played Scorn? I
So
forgot
it
that
was
you
like
did that.
So imagine the look of the first Alien movie, how everything looked all fucked up and like when they go to the planet and everything's like so wet. That's this entire game. And at first I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like you're just in this like weird fucked up area and everything's like disgusting and gooey and stuff. But like the puzzles are really hard and it got like annoying after like an hour or two. Like you couldn't figure out things because everything was just so gooey.
Did you beat it?
No, of course not. I stopped playing
Interesting.
after a day.
I just want to run a common theme through a few things. Rick and Morty. Some people say it's kind of like a smart show. Not really, but like fake smart. Scorn. Too hard. Puzzles. Difficult. There was a third thing. I forget what the hell it was. It seems like maybe these things are too smart for you. Is that what we're getting at? And you hate them and they're dumb and they're ugly and you hate them.
And I hate them anyway.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
That's weird.
I'll say that.
Wow. Anyway,
well, it's
I'm
funny
not
because
doxing
the
you.
other one that I got into, this actually helps because the other one I got into was somewhat as like a dummy, like a Neanderthal, because I started playing Far Cry, but the caveman one.
Oh, yeah. Was that
so Far Cry Primal?
3? Is it essentially 3? Anyway, whatever.
It might be 3 or 4, but it's called Far Cry Primal, and you play as a caveman, and you have to do, and they all like talk like idiots, like cavemen.
And you love it?
And I loved it when I was playing it. I was like, yeah, I'm totally relating to this guy.
So
there is a good theme that like I can relate to UG, but I can't relate to Rick and Morty humor.
Yeah, I guess so. That's interesting.
Yeah. Do I have anything else?
Yo, I just realized now we can become an Xbox versus PlayStation like podcast.
I mean, we can become joystick gigolos.
Oh wow.
Did you like how I
come up with that? That's amazing.
I might have just come up with it.
No, you didn't. In fact, do I have the text message that says it?
What are you gonna look it up when I? Well, here's my thing. Yeah, I figured joystick gigolos. You know, you play on every console. I played new games on the Switch too.
That's true. Well,
yeah, I played the new Monkey Island. If anyone's into Monkey Island, the new Monkey Island's great, and that's a smart game. You have to solve puzzles in that.
There's another theme there. It's another remake of a game from like 1990.
Come on, man. Why you gotta do that? What are you looking at the text now? For the first time, I said joystick gigolo.
No, so I'm thinking calling the next episode New Game Plus Who This? Terrible idea. It could be a casual app with no real theme, but we can talk about new games we played, which we never do. And I wrote, wow. And you wrote, yeah, something about the first app. And then literally the next sentence is, dude, I'm fucked. My gym is closing. 2023 sucks. And I wrote LOL and you wrote KMS. And I was like, geez, 2023.
Fucking call me out on that.
I did. Also had a recommendation for a game from you called The Messenger. It sounds old.
Oh, so The Messenger, that's funny because it's on PS4. It looks like an old game. It came out like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It looks like Ninja Gaiden, like an old Nintendo game, like Ninja game. But it's new. And it's like meta. I hate using that word, but like there's comedy and there's like, but it's the gameplay is basically like those old Nintendo games. And it's really cool. So I started playing that. I play that actually every night. I've been playing that every night for the past 4 nights. But yeah, are you going to read some more text? Well, I mean, I could literally read text from you that probably would get you arrested. So you really want to go there?
The FBI has plenty of reading to do between the two of us.
That old lady we talk about that has to read our text.
No, I was looking at things I screenshotted, and 3 of them were texts from you.
Okay.
Text from so and so. Text from someone else. This one was interesting. That TV I just bought today.
Yeah.
One of the top comments on Amazon, and how realistic does porn look on this screen? It's 77 inches. So I don't know what this person's looking
Probably
for.
really good.
The first answer is from the manufacturer, and it says the screen powered by Alexa 4K Smart 120 hertz makes everything pop and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, doesn't say anything about the pornography, of course. The next one says the 120 hertz refresh rate is like an 18-year-old stud. No more blurry thrusts or action scenes. You'll be envious of the stamina portrayed by the millions of pixels, treating every climax like an IMAX.
This is another customer writing this part.
Shoot for the ceiling. You won't be disappointed.
Now, they mean like literally shoot for the ceiling, like come.
Oh, 100%. That's
Okay.
that was
like don't get it in your belly button or on the hair on your stomach or anything.
That's terrible. I see zits in places that were previously beneath resolution on lesser TVs. Really enhances the experience, I must say.
So porn stars are just as gross as us. They get zits and pimples.
Yeah, I guess so. And now I'm going to see them in 4K and 77 inches in the middle of my living room.
Dude, you got to open your window and then watch porn so everyone sees like you on your couch like watching porn.
Not even jacking off, fully clothed, drinking a beer.
Yeah, like not even fully clothed, like wearing like a winter jacket. Like put like a winter coat on, like a cap.
Wearing more clothes while watching porn. Is that a new thing? We could just started a thing.
Because then they'll never know if you're horny or not. Like they won't see your hard nipples or like your boner.
My hard nipples? Do you get hard nipples?
No, but I just assumed.
I really thought maybe you did, and I was like,
maybe I just revealed like a thing that happens to me. No, it doesn't. But...
Okay, all right, fine.
So the other part we wanted to talk about was if any games took place in 2023.
This is terrible.
Go
this
ahead.
list you gave me makes me sick. I was gonna pull it up on my. I don't want to do it from my phone. So let me say.
That's fine. So I didn't think it was actually there was any games that took place in 2023.
Yeah.
I was like, might as well just look. Like it doesn't matter. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there's only 4 games that take place.
It does not count. It should not count at all.
Why? Because there's 3 sports games.
Yeah, like NBA 2K23 does not count. NHL 23 doesn't count. Madden 23 shouldn't count as games.
And also the video game Perfect Dark is on there, but it's twice because one is just a remake. So it's
how many
so
games
we're one
on
less.
This list?
So it's 1, 2. Well, here's another thing. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, why is that on there?
So I looked it up. I'm like, the year is clearly 2077.
2026. Yeah.
So something happens in 2023, like a nuclear holocaust or something.
Oh, so
happens in 2023. So this shouldn't be on the list.
In a way, it should now. I didn't know that.
Technically, there's only 1, 2, 3 games that take place in 2023.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a terrible list.
So
go over the list.
Crisis 2. So we talked about Crisis 3 years ago because Crisis 1 took place in 2020.
I guess that checks out. That makes sense.
So apparently Crisis 2 takes place in 2023.
All the futuristic weapons.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I downloaded it, but I haven't played it. If I was a real podcast, I would have played it and done the homework, but I did not.
Okay, that's interesting.
So just assume we're correct. Crisis 2, 2023. Cyberpunk. I had the tab open, but it's some nuclear holocaust. Something happens.
Something happens.
Something.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves probably did something. Yeah.
See, the people who put in those comments, I hate when they don't give the facts straight. They're listening right now and they're banging their fist.
They're like, these guys just kept saying something happened. I want to know.
That's this podcast is just something happened.com.
The game State of Emergency. Do you remember this game?
No, I actually don't. What's
One of my friends had it. It was called State of Emergency, and it's basically like you just
GTA ripoff.
So it was made from the same company that made GTA. It came out in like 2003.
Yeah,
and basically it's like every city now there's riots everywhere because some corporation. So everyone's just trying to go against the establishment. So every level is just you start a riot and you fight like the FBI, like you fight like SWAT members and stuff, and you pick a character.
Third person perspective, and you can get in vehicles and stuff and blow things up.
You don't get in vehicles. Like every area is somewhat closed off. Like you're fighting in a mall or like a street block, but like it's open like GTA.
Okay.
And I remember it coming out and like it was people were like complaining because it was like too violent. And little did I know, I haven't seen it in like 20 some years, but it took place in a dystopian 2023.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Now I want to see the screen of it because I actually remember this game, but
you probably remember the cover because the cover is some guy in like a tank top, like doing like gang signs.
Yes, with the letter A or whatever. I guess it's supposed to be anarchy, emergency. Yeah, and it's flames. I forgot about this game. Yeah.
I remember it was a big deal because it was right after Grand Theft Auto. People were like, "Oh, is this the next game from them?" And everyone hated it.
Yeah, everyone did hate it. It did not get good.
The next one is Perfect Dark. Everyone knows Perfect Dark, right?
Perfect Dark, dude. Actually, you're a super Perfect Dark nerd. I didn't love Perfect Dark.
How am I a super Perfect Dark nerd?
I feel like you wanted to play it all the time.
I probably played it twice in the last like 30 years.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I distinctly remember, like in my brain, I categorized like movies to people. I'm like, oh, this is so and so's movie. Your
Okay.
movie. I'm not even gonna get into that. But um no, I feel like Perfect Dark was a thing that you always were looking forward to. Did they re-release it?
They re-released it on like the 360.
Were you hyping up the re-release, like being like, hey, you gotta
No.
check it out? It's gonna re-release and it's gonna be so good. Are you sure?
Yeah, you're like you make up these stories about me. Like when we were playing Siphon Filter, you said I was singing like Jungle Boogie.
You did while I was warrior crawling across.
There's literally
Gabe
no
Logan.
proof. You can't prove I did any of these things.
I'm gonna go back in time. I'm gonna salute you, and then I'm
Oh
gonna
no,
go back further in
that
time.
was you.
It
You're the one that
was
gave me a
me,
Nazi
yeah.
salute.
I was trying to fool you.
You were trying to warn me.
I was trying to warn you about Jungle Boogie.
No, I honestly remember playing it when it came out, maybe renting it, and then maybe
I really
not playing
thought
it
you
again
made
for,
a big deal of it,
for
and
10
I was
years.
like,
No.
and I was like, I liked Goldeneye better. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, of course, like in the 90s, I probably thought she was super hot because she polygons, but we'll get into that in another episode.
Oh, geez, that's another thing. Oh boy,
that's another thing. But yeah, like I probably played it only a few times, but I looked it up and it's again, it's a dystopian 2023. A big corporation owns like cities, like whatever.
we don't have any of those guns in any of these games, though.
Yeah, and there's no like, and like I think there's a helicopter she flies in on in the very beginning of the game, and those helicopters don't even exist. Like
Failure.
So
We
I remember
should be able to give people grades if like a movie or game takes place in the future, and then that future comes, and then we go back to them and say, "Look, pal,
yeah,
you were
F.
way off."
Get an F. And
You get an F.
if Joanna Dark, the lead character of Perfect Dark, doesn't want to date me, a U for
F.
ugly. She's ugly. F.
And F you.
F you. Yeah, girl.
Those are her grades.
I'm
F
a
is
real
grade,
human. You're
and
not.
you
Yeah.
ugly. We hate you.
We hate you. As
We hate you.
I think we recently said that. We're like,
Yeah. It's
we
a
said
collective.
something. We said something about someone. I'm like, yeah, it's a collective. Like we think they're ugly now.
It's a group effort.
We decided.
Yeah.
So this list actually really didn't pan out as well because after I counted, like the one is a remake, the 3 sports games,
They do not count.
and Cyberpunk not really like showing, like, because I had to go deep in the Wikipedia for Cyberpunk.
Really?
Because I'm like, oh, like there's got to be 2023.
Yeah, I saw it on the list and I totally ignored it because I was like, that's incorrect.
If you click on it, you have to go into like other
And
Wikipedias.
read?
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that. No.
I can't believe I did that work for a game that I don't intend to play and never played.
You're never gonna play Cyberpunk?
It just doesn't.
I hear really good things. I actually might.
Oh
Yo,
my
stop.
God. I'm Nick. I hear really good things about people and places and salutes, and maybe I'll try this Nazi salute. I hear a good thing about it.
I did not say that. Don't edit it. Is that for PlayStation 5? Yeah,
I think it's for
all 3, right?
Yeah.
PC.
Maybe not the Switch. I think the Switch might blow up.
Switch would not be able to run that. I might get it, dude. Look, new TV, new 4K. I'm going to be tracing rays. Like, you don't even know what ray tracing is. You don't get new games.
I actually really don't. I hear it a lot, but
you're tracing the light rays.
No, you know what?
Would
this
naturally
is
bounce off objects.
New Dan. I want to learn what ray tracing is.
Do you want to know what an OLED TV is? Why don't you come visit me? You never visit me.
I don't want to. I only visit it when you live with somebody else.
Yep. My mom and dad. You're using me for them.
I didn't want to say their name. I didn't want to dox them.
My mom and dad.
Is that their birth names?
It is. Yeah.
Did you know that my mom and dad met at McDonald's when they worked together?
No, they didn't.
They had my older brother. They had my older brother on a McFlurry machine.
It's only funny because I still remember vividly another thing that you told me.
Well, no, first off, I'm not lying. They did meet at McDonald's, and that's how they started dating.
All right. Well, then this makes more sense. You had a dream that your dog Snoops, remember Snoops?
I remember, rest in peace.
Was walking down your steps at your house on that street. Yep. Walked down the steps and had on the green visor. Remember the McDonald's workers used to have that? And told you, Bark, that she had to go to work.
So is she...
This is a dream you told me when we were like 7 or 8.
And you never forgot this?
No, because I thought in my head, I thought it was happening. I was picturing Snoops and I was picturing her.
Was she walking like bipedal, like on her
upright? Yeah, on her 2 feet down the steps and the green visor and her uniform on. And she barked and told you she had to go to work. And I don't know if she said McDonald's, but she was.
I was gonna say, did I understand the bark or did she like talk also?
We're going back like 30 years. So at this point, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're getting annoyed at me for asking the details, but you remember the dream.
It's
like, where's the logic beyond that?
One was your dad had a fireball and he was throwing it at you. Do you recall that?
Is that another? You remember more of my dreams than I do. No, go on.
Well, I don't. That's it. It was the whole dream. I think he was rolling, like, you know how Street Fighter, they have the move
Yeah.
where you can, what's it called? How do you pronounce that word?
Like Shuriken or
Hadouken.
Yeah.
Hadouken. Well, your dad was angry at you and he was cradling a fireball. And then he said, Daniel, and threw it at you. And you told me this when I was 7 too. I think it may have been the same day. You told me both these dreams.
I said I had these 2 crazy dreams, Nick.
And
Never
I
forget
still
them.
remember them to this day. And they're not even my dreams. So
Yeah, that's like a superpower.
no, it's a curse.
There's 2 superpowers: coming fast and remembering other people's dreams. I'm not going to tell you which one of us has either superpower. You're going to have to guess.
Oh. So 2023 flop. Bad
2023 is big flop.
Big flop.
These games I tried out, we play old games, and when we try new games, we secretly love them. But I'm going to obviously cut this part of the podcast and tell people
Cut that part of the podcast.
Yeah, so games that take place in 2023, that segment, big
Flop. Flop. Huge flop.
Nick rehearsing my dreams, big flop.
That's going to be a hit. People are going to be talking about that. Yeah, I think.
So we're going to go on one more break, and then we'll just get into more stuff about the new year. Maybe what plans we have. Maybe things talk about past episodes. We'll see, right?
Okay. I think that sounds like a great idea.
We'll be right back. All right.
So this is in a band again.
You're going to be in a band again?
Yeah. I thought it was your friend, Swagfish 7.
Oh, so I have this is the guy that said he wanted to give us tattoos live on the podcast.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Swagfish on Twitter.
He's in a band. He asked me if I play bass, and I was like, yeah. And he's like,
look at you. You're in 2 bands.
I told him I don't have the time, and now I got to look into it.
You have plenty of time. You're doing a podcast right now. I feel like anyone that does a podcast has plenty of time, and they're lying when they say they don't.
I mean, anyone in any walk of life has plenty of time. Yeah. If you want to get technical about it, I want to get your job. Yeah. Plenty of time. You can stop sleeping. Plenty of time. You can stop raising your kid. Plenty of time.
Yeah, you don't need any of that stuff.
Anyway, he's legitimately asked me if I have availability and if I could do a thing, and they do covers, and I'm like, I think that's my next step in life. Like after
doing
my
covers?
kid. No. Doing like that whole band thing, like not just the other band.
Well, you're in another band that like all they do is practice and they don't record, and I always ask you for recordings.
I have recording everything but the keyboards now. So
what is this, fucking Sticks?
Yep, that's it. This is Sticks. You just got me. The only band you could think of with keyboards was
it literally
Sticks
took me like my brain was like, you have 37 years of bands in your head. Think of one band that has keyboards.
Sticks. Sure. Is that Carry On My Waywards? No, that's not Kansas.
No, that's Mr. Roboto.
Oh, Mr. Roboto is Sticks?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think so, dude.
Come
set now.
Crystal Ball? There's a song called Crystal Ball. Anyway, so I'm going to use this part. So first off, our last 2 episodes ago, we came out with a Christmas episode. Did really well.
Oh, this part of the episode.
A lot of people
I can't wait.
A lot of people listen, which was like really cool. And we kind of took like a break that I don't think people realized or cared that we kind of took like over a month break.
Yeah, people were clamoring for more material.
So I just made a 20-minute clip show of moments that I thought were funny. And one of my friends actually told me he was going to make a clip show of his own of me just saying the weird way I say hello every episode.
Hello.
Yeah, I say like hello. So he was going to say
really good
he wanted to make a supercut of all that, but then he was like,
we should have made both and see which one did better.
Yeah. He said it was too much work, and I'm like, dude, when I did mine, it was too much work. But yeah, a lot of people listen to the Christmas episode, so I just assume those people might stick around for that the clip show. So I haven't opened the podcast app that I use to record since making that clip show. So I don't know how well it did. I don't know how terrible it did. So I'm going to open it for the first time, and you're going to see my live reaction. I'm not going to tell you the numbers. I'll just give you a face reaction.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm literally ready. Oh my God. Drum roll here. I'm getting nervous because he's probably going to think it's at this screen. He's probably got another screen he's got to go to. Oh,
pretty good.
Pretty good, guys. Thanks.
Way better than I thought.
Can
I just say, I'll only say what I thought it was going to be because it was a clip show and because it was episodes that people already heard.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was just going to be like 50 downloads.
Okay.
It's way more than that.
Okay.
So
here.
More.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm pleasantly so to anyone that listened to this episode, holy shit. Thank you for listening to that episode because it was very hard to make. And it was all a trick because we told people in the beginning that it was going to be a serious episode about our gaming, like us talking about gaming moments. And I just put together a clip show of all the times we talked about podcast failure.
Podcast yeah.
So
Podcast was the theme. I don't know if
seemed to
anyone.
have worked.
Yeah, it did work, I guess. Unless
So
everyone hated
the joke's
it.
on you. You all got tricked into listening to this episode.
The joke's on you. You got tricked in listening to any of our episodes.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny because this episode, there's two things that I asked you that I wanted to make revolve around this.
Yeah.
So the cover I wanted to use was a picture of Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, this is okay.
And then I wanted to use the letter N from the Nintendo 64. And I said,
Yeah,
hey,
because
man.
it's the 3D.
Yeah. So I was like,
rotating.
hey, man,
Yeah.
I don't have a title for this. I don't know what it's about, but I want to use these two things somehow. And I think you just didn't respond to me.
Correct. I literally was in the text picture right before whatchamacallit.
And I saw, because obviously on my end, I see that you read it. So I just saw that you read the pictures and I'm like, he's not responding. He doesn't like this.
I didn't love it, but I mean, what do you want me to? I don't know where to go with it.
And I don't know what you
with...
should have said. What would you have gonna say?
Right. Oh, it's great, Dan. We'll workshop through it. What? I wouldn't.
Yeah, like that. So it took me a day to think of something stupid with those things. And here's some podcast advice for anyone that's listening. If it takes you more than a day for an idea that you have for a podcast that you can't crack, just throw it out the window. Because once I threw it out the window, I immediately thought of the cover and the name for this episode.
Okay.
So it worked out. Like, I don't know, who knows what this episode was going to be about, but.
So you're telling me that thing you needed to have in there and you went backwards and picked the picture and wanted to make that somehow the cover.
Yeah.
You wanted me to figure out, both of us to figure out a way to do it.
The work.
You spent all day and, regardless, I should do some work. That's the whole different topic. But then you were like, no, this seems like we're doing it backwards. You scrapped it. And then immediately right away, you came up with an easier answer.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
and I mean, as you can tell, because you're listening to it, Joystick Gigolo. If all else fails, alliteration is the best, because the last episode was called Past Pixels. So alliteration works every time.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Either a rhyme and some alliteration or a pun. Puns are not always work, but like they're nice, you know?
Yeah, like my name on social media and consoles is a pun with the Famicom. The only place my name isn't a pun is on my Xbox. I think we talked about this before, but my name is a kid that we made fun of in grade school. Should I just say his name?
We have an entire episode doxing him.
Did we?
I think. Wait, which one? What is your name in there? Oh, no.
Dan something?
Yeah.
Can I not say his name?
I don't know. Is that legal?
But it's my username. No, even though it's his legal real name. Anyway, it's this kid we grew up with is my Xbox name.
A different kid.
But here's the thing. It's a kid we went to grade school with. But here's the thing. We didn't make fun of him in grade school. We made fun of him as adults.
Yeah.
Like once we hit 30, we would send each other pictures of him or laugh at his name or
remember him.
Like we were bullying him as adults.
I think our favorite version of a joke is remember, and then we just say someone's name, dude.
Yeah.
We're idiots. Kind of.
So that's our podcast. Thanks for listening to the previous episode. It was just the best of. We're probably going to do pretty much the same thing in 2022. 2023.
Also, if you want to play games with me, my username now is, I don't remember. I'm not going to put it on here. I don't want to share that. But hit me up. Let me know.
Hit him up. He's not going to tell you his name.
I'm not going to. I only play one game now, actually, and it's on the PC. And we didn't bring it up, but it's the best game I played in the past 10 years. And I'm going to say it because you wanted the episode to end, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah. The Rock thing, right?
Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah. I didn't get to talk about it, but that's the most fun game I played in like a long time. So if you want to play that, let me know because I'll rock and stone with you. If you know what I'm saying.
If you want to play Nick, with Nick in games, he's not going to tell you his username, but look him up. If you want to play me an Xbox, I'm not going to give you my username because it's a real name.
It's someone else's name.
We can't legally give it to you. It's not my name. I can't legally.
Complicated.
Because then my password is his social. Can you imagine? So thanks for listening. We hope you have a great 2023. And we'll see you soon.
I hope it's terrible, just like ours.
You know what? I hope it was like our first week of 2023, and I hope it's atrocious.
And if you're old and you're still listening, I didn't say I hope you flatline.
He made a face though.
I made a face.
Wait, so is this old person listening in a bed, like on their deathbed?
And then
makes total sense. All right, thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Game over, guys.
Game over.
You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every vexual. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every vexual. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every sexually transmitted disease that Mario has. He's the Joystick Gigolo, and he's nasty as shit. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it, name it, every sexual. You call yourself a real gamer, prove it.